Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome back to the End.
I thought you just said it was Duhad and Friends.
Well, it's Duhad and Friends of the channel, but it's To the End, the reunion show. Welcome back to Duhad and Friends presents To the End, the reunion show. It's like Duhad and Friends, To the End, the reunion show.
I'm confused.
Wait,
already.
why is it a colon and not a dash?
Because it's like the dot. It's
Okay.
Subtitles. It's like title, then subtitle, then subtitle. It's To the End, everybody. Hold on, I'm gonna put my face right there. Oh, look at this. Reuniting. I can't speak.
Reunited and it
It's so good. We have Duhad, myself. We have the one and only Pad Save.
Where are my pants? Wait, I found them.
The Pad girls are falling over.
You said not to burst me on this, and here we go.
I wasn't talking about you specifically, but since you've now identified as a Pad girl, none of this.
Shh.
I completely forgot that was a thing.
See, I was remembering it, and I tried to draw you looking suave for the picture for the Pad girls, and I failed.
They appreciate it. They are going to be. I imagine in the comments, there's going to be at least one person who's like, "Yeah, no, as a Pad girl, I am all into that come hither stare and cocky cocksure grin and the giant yellow fisherman's hat. Beautiful.
It was driving me nuts that I could not remember the correct name for that hat yesterday. I kept wanting to call it a Mac, and I'm like, that's not right.
Oh, it is the almighty Sou'wester.
Sou'wester. Yeah, it's actually super popular in Maine. Like a lot of fishermen wear that. I guess it's because we're so culturally mingled with.
Well, it is a very functional hat for being on the water. You've got the nice, I don't know fabrics, but you got like the plasticky bit,
The plastic bit.
Yeah,
That's what it's called. That's the actual name of the hat. It's the plasticky bit that goes around the headpiece.
I know the fabric names too, and I can't think because it's not quite vinyl.
Polyester. I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. And then like you've got it lined with some kind of fur or some kind of worm bit to keep you nice and warm for being out on the cold ocean, and the back tail's a bit longer, so all the rain and water just kind of like go down on the back of your coat. It's very functional.
It is pretty great. I'll tell you what, it's a lot better than the other traditional hat worn by sailors, which has no functional purpose and is just a tiny little pillbox, like half a pillbox just taped to your head. And I mentioned like in rough weather.
What?
Yeah, those the sailor hats, the little white sailor hats. They got like the little brim all the way around them.
Oh, it's a sailor hat. Yes, I have one of those.
Yeah, it's like they're adorable and all, but like I really don't imagine that if you're out at sea on a boat that's like rocking around in heavy weather, that like this little hat that's just precariously balanced on your head is going to it's gonna be all that functional compared to a nice big slicker hat.
I mean, I can't even keep it on my head just to wear it on a regular basis, so I agree with this.
Well, see, the beauty of it is that the actual ones, I don't know about like the little tiny like tuna can ones, but the actual ones at least like have some kind of elastic band in them.
Huh.
So,
This is true.
So, and then they're nice and rigid. So while you're on the sea and it's all rocking, you got something within an arm reach for seasickness.
That is kind of gross.
That's a little bit of a function I don't imagine most people would have initially thought about, but it is there.
I don't even think it's the real thing, but it's...
No, well, it is now. You can imagine that all of our seamen viewers are going to be out on the water now and being like, oh hey, that Pod Save, he came up with a right proper good idea.
Oh dear.
Right, so.
So that's going to be wonderful to hear about in future. Actually, that's a thing. If you are a man or lady of the ocean, a old man of the sea, if you will, make sure to follow this advice and then leave a note in the comments telling us, did it work? how functional was this idea that PadSave fully endorses?
Man or lady or non-binary persons, but other than that, yes, leave us a message about these creative uses for hats.
I am dying to hear. Dying.
I do not really want to know, but for the sake of the show, I will suffer.
For the sake of science, I have to know. This is important. Lives are at stake.
The lives could be saved.
We can end all
By being able
death at sea.
to empty into a hat instead of over the side of the boat, I don't think so.
Not necessarily over the side of the boat, but it could be on the main deck. Like that could just be the worst.
Yeah, no, I mean, imagine you were on a boat and the president of, I don't know, Canada.
Canada doesn't have a president!
Queen of Canada and the president of the U.S. are meeting on board of this boat.
We don't have a queen.
No,
but it's like we share a queen with the UK, but she's not the Queen of Canada. She's the Queen of England.
Are you saying that she doesn't have any right to Canada? Are you denying the Queen?
No, I love the Queen. Bring on the Queen.
Yeah. So as I was saying, the Queen, who you super endorse, is there with the president of the United States, and you have to use the side of the boat, but you can't reach it, and you have two choices. You can throw up on the deck, or you can use the hat. And if you use the deck, guess what? The Queen of England and the President of the United States go slip and slide and right off the edge. You've just committed double monarchide.
I forgot how ridiculous this could all get so quickly.
I know. This is why you have to think these things through. Otherwise people die. That's why PadSave guaranteed life-saving advice.
Well, it's not a guarantee because it hasn't been practiced yet.
Not practiced yet.
Theoretical life-saving.
Theoretical 100% guaranteed life-saving tactic. Theoretical little thing down in the description just being like, warning, this is not actually 100% guaranteed. This is actually entirely theoretical. 100% will save your life, though.
Oh, dear.
I cannot endorse these claims.
I can. So anyway, it's as I'm sure we as we actually mentioned earlier on, though, before we soared off the topic, it has been an extraordinarily long time since the last time the three of us have sat down together. In fact, actually, shortly before we started recording.
Did anyone actually calculate the date?
I'm going to do that right now using the magic of YouTube videos. But
I'm going to go with the magic of the Skype chat.
I was also thinking of the Skype chat, but then I know we've used multiple different chats, so it's not reliable.
It still probably gives a pretty good idea. But using the magic of YouTube, I'm going to just continue talking while I also look this up.
Multitasking!
Oh my goodness, we started in 2014? Oh, wow.
That seems right, yeah.
No, jeez, I just didn't know it was so long. Okay, oh, geez, the Corner Gas Cast.
What? Did we do an episode about that?
Yeah, you did an episode all about the Corner Gas.
Wasn't that one of the last ones as well?
Oh, Snapples. Yeah, that was in December of 2014. So we basically went for like 6 months, and then like 2 years ago, 2 years ago this December, the show ended with us talking about Corner Gas.
Wait, was it 2 years?
Hold on, that might just be the way the playlist was put together. It might.
I thought it would be like a year and a half, maybe, but 2 years seems a little excessive.
It looks like 2 years. Just like look over here at this other one. Yeah, it looks like, as far as I can tell, it's like all these were from 2014.
Gee.
Wow. Oh.
I'm old now.
Yeah, last updated December 13th, 2014. Oh my goodness.
And yet nothing has really changed. We're all just going right back into it.
This is
no reservations.
It's like no time has passed.
For me, no time has passed. I have no concept of time, so we're good.
It's like the magic of the internet and just getting together. It's like you just kind of pick up where you left off.
Pretty much.
Hey.
So, but speaking of picking up where you left off, time does continue in the real world, and I want to know what you guys have been up to in broad terms, keeping in mind that you're talking to, the live audience out on the YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if Nonny has anything she needs to discuss with the broader audience at large, but
I mean, like in general, broad terms of like I've been working at a audio recording job, and I lived in Ohio briefly, and then I moved back and have been working at I was working as a sound engineer for a while, and now I'm working at a medical call center. Like those are
cool.
Yeah, those are broad strokes of what I've been doing, plus a lot of stuff here on the channel, which I'm sure anyone watching this video probably is aware of. But in equally broad, non nitty gritty notes, Nonny, what have you been up to?
Don't pinpoint me.
So I'm just
I don't like to talk about myself,
Well, I can always make up what you've been doing for you if you'd prefer.
No, please don't make up my life. That would be very. We'd go back to the embarrassing Nonny episodes. I stopped voice acting or singing, so that's like I stopped doing things rather than doing more things.
Your life has progressed in that it has diminished.
Yes, but yes. I do more art now. That's about it.
Hey, art's great, honestly. Yeah.
You've just focused onto one thing instead of like trying to be spread out. So what you're doing is like you're concentrating your efforts to like have the greater quality product.
Yes,
exactly.
And I'm still really, really gay. That's important.
Perfect. I as well am incredibly happy, just all the time, super joyful.
Sure, yeah.
No, also I like men and women, so I mean, both terms of the word. But Pat, say, what have you been up to?
I have been pretty much doing the same thing.
So you've been with a lot of men, a lot of women, enjoying stopping voice acting and painting, and have picked up.
No, I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for the last 4 years. I pretty much just
breaking hearts and.
Yes, unfortunately now the heartbreak will have to be great because I did get married over the summer.
Oh dear!
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, there you go. That was like a thing. That was like an ongoing.
I figured you had to be married by now, but I didn't want to intrude.
Yes, we actually we got married in the summer.
Well, that is that's fantastic. Yeah, congratulations, Pat. Dude,
you are very lucky
fantastic.
That happened while we were off air, or Duhad would have made an embarrassing wedding show about you.
Yes. I would have given an honorary best person speech. I would have like stood up and like had a little glass over here. I'd take like this glass right here. I'd go like, dearly gathered friends and family of Pad Save and Mrs. Pad Save. I think we can all agree that what brought us here together was the incredible magnetic personality of our dear beloved friend, Mr. Man in the Yellow Hat.
Now, unfortunately, I did not wear the yellow hat for the wedding.
Ah, see that?
Not even for any of the photos?
No, but I was in Converse, so.
Fair.
Okay, well,
fair.
That's awesome.
Yes,
but
yes, it was actually like really fun.
Were they Canada printed Converse?
No, I had like just kind of like white ones, and she was wearing red ones.
Oh.
Or no, not red ones. Sorry, she was wearing teal ones. She wears red ones. Good. Yes, because they were the wedding colors. She also came down the aisle to the Mario theme.
Oh my goodness, that is actually amazing.
We cut the cake with Sting.
Oh gosh.
The sword from The Hobbit.
And Lord of the Rings, that is amazing. That is actually really amazing. I have no jokes for that because I am super jealous of your wedding now because that sounds like an amazing event.
It was fun. Yeah. We
Well-
just tried to run with it and have as much fun and be as nerdy as we could through the entire thing.
You know, that's a really good way of going about it.
I much prefer weddings that reflect the couple's interests and wedding traditions.
Well, it was really awesome. Was the justice of the peace we ended up using was referred to us by her mom, because he had done things in the past. I think the big one that stood out for us was that he had done a service, and he did the entire thing in the same lisp and speech patterns as the bishop from The Princess Bride.
I knew you were going to say The Princess Bride! Oh my goodness! Oh, I love The Princess Bride.
Yo,
I mean, I'm fading on it over the years, but the book is impressive.
that is God dang it, that is amazing. That is amazing. I want to be at your wedding. I want to retroactively now be at your wedding.
Duhad, do you want to get married so we can top pad save?
Yes, I will do
That
it.
sounded wrong.
Oh. No, I love this idea. Let us spitefully get married for the only purpose of deliberately trying to one-up pad save. I think that is the most honest, beautiful thing I've ever heard. It really
we're united in our love of being better than other people.
Exactly. That's so beautiful. It's a tear in my eye.
I am completely okay with this.
I feel like
You can be the justice of the peace this time, Pad Safe. We'll get you certified.
I'm just imagining now that like the wedding speeches for like the bride and groom would like the best man stuff would literally just be these lists with like, I'd just like to begin by saying Jeremy from the 3rd grade, eat it. Susan, who's laughing now? Jeremiah, I'm sorry. You said this would never happen. Well, guess what? It's happening. Just like that for an hour. And the only people invited, no friends and family, only people we want to rub, their stupid faces in it with.
I don't really have any enemies, but you're welcome to invite your own.
I have very few enemies, so this would be a very small affair, but we would still have, it lavish, and we would record it and then send it to Pad Save and say, your turn. See if you can do better than that.
Honestly, if we lived close, I would now have to stage a fake wedding just to make a video and send it to Pad Safe. Like, this sounds like a great prank.
If and when I go up to Canada, this will have to just be a thing. We'll just have to we'll get some cardboard and some duct tape, build everything we need, including the audience.
Oh no, we have parks here where people go and do weddings. Like they have outdoor fancy gazebo setups and stuff. Like we could just go down, and I already have lots of frilly dresses.
Perfect.
Just get it done.
Let's do it. Yeah. Awesome. In your face, Pad Save.
If you're going to do this, I have one request.
Okay.
Please stay away from Point Pleasant Park.
Okay. What is?
You know exactly what I was thinking of.
What is Point Pleasant Park? I need.
It's a park in Dartmouth, so somewhere close to where Nonny is, and
give away my location over the internet.
It's vague. It's near.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
it's actually quite a ways from here. But
it's
I was
like
thinking
I am near Winnipeg. It's still like 2.5 hours, 3 hours away, but I'm near Winnipeg.
I was thinking of a different park mostly.
Yeah, spoiler warning about my location. I am near the Atlantic Ocean.
But Point Pleasant Park has had just problems over problems
Have they really?
Well, there was the pine beetle thing that was going on for years. I think from mid '90s to early 2000s, and then there was Hurricane Juan that came through and just destroyed it. And it just seems like
I think I kind of remember that.
Wow, that's.
I've only been over there twice, and that was 2 years ago at least. Anyway, no, 4. How long have I don't know, 4 or 5 years. So I don't know it that well, but gosh, that's unfortunate.
No, I've never. I think I was only there once after the hurricane, just to kind of see what was kind of going on. But I just remember on the news all the time, it was this is happening in the park, and this is going on, and now all these trees are being hit by the pine beetles, and this and this. And
oh my god, that's really depressing. That is That really is awful for the people who live in that park or live in the park. I mean, obviously, especially for the people who live in the park, but yeah, for the people in that area, that's got to be terrible. So our best wishes go out to the men, women, and others who happen to live in the area of this park. You know, that is unfortunate that your park is not great.
There's some other parks though that are okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Who knows? I haven't been heard of anything from Park for a while, so it could all be great now. It could be the most beautiful place.
Or we get down there and it is on fire, and it has been.
I'm trying to remember. Is Point
for
Pleasant the
weeks.
one with the tower or the military memorials?
I do not know. I thought it was just like a walking park.
Oh, maybe it is.
Oh dear! Actually,
Generally, all the parks here have a monument of some kind. I don't know if we're big on that in the Nova Scotia area or what, but
Well, there's just lots of history around there.
yeah.
that's true. That's true.
I actually don't know any of the Nova Scotian history, but I imagine at some point you might enlighten me to it.
Honestly, I'm not that learned myself, but I could give it a go.
Well, one of the bigger things that might kind of play to you there, Duhad, is the Halifax explosion.
Oh dear! What happened there?
Well, there was I can't remember what the boats were hauling, but there was two boats that ended up in the harbor and they collided. It ended up causing this massive explosion that devastated a good part of like the harbor, so like kind of the Halifax, Dartmouth, Bedford area. But in that time, the wonderful people of Boston were able to send up supplies and help kind of everybody kind of get back into some kind of livable condition, because this I think was also late fall, early winter. So the cold was starting to roll in, and just windows out of like every building were shattered and things just completely destroyed. So the people of Boston were able to send stuff up, and now every year the people of Halifax and Nova Scotia send I don't know if it's like the biggest tree, but like they send this beautiful tree down.
Oh yes,
Oh.
yes, I remember this.
Well, that's great. That's actually super
We
amazing.
send you a really big pine tree so that
Oh,
you can have a
that's-
Christmas tree because your Christmas trees are sad, apparently.
Yeah, no, and also that's great because like that I've seen that tree. That tree. Well, I mean,
have
like,
you?
yeah, I mean, like come holiday season, I go down and visit my friends in Boston, and there is a fantastic and beautiful tree, always set up in the in Boston Square Park. I actually forget the name of the place it's set up, but I'm just going to refer to it as Boston Square Park because that is makes fancy sense. It's it's basically little New York.
That
as
tree
you-
comes from my homeland.
Oh my goodness! It's the crossover we've all been waiting for. It's just under our
Hooray.
noses.
Actually, I can remember another piece of like Nova Scotian history is I know that we have a lot of stuff relating to Titanic here, and I believe that's because it crashed somewhere in this area,
Huh.
which is a
That's awesome.
sad thing. But Titanic is one of my special interests.
Titanic's pretty great. Actually, I should introduce you to my roommate's father, who is a Titanic. He's a naval history expert, but he gave he gave several interviews for various Titanic documentaries because he has a specific knowledge of the Titanic, and is actually the guy who came up with who like kind of made the theory, which ended up being validated, that the Titanic didn't like crack and like go like up and then sank down, but rather like kind of twisted and pulled apart in the water.
I've probably seen him then. I've seen a lot of documentaries.
He's a biggish fellow, a little bit older, has like a white and red beard and
I wouldn't
glasses.
know.
Yeah, you've probably seen him. You might not recognize him, but you've probably seen him. And the dude's name is Roger
I don't
Long.
recognize my own family members, so
That's fair. I often look in the mirror and go, "Who are you?"
oh my god, I give myself such a start sometimes when I'm not prepared to recognize my own face.
Mhm.
And it's like, there's a boy. Oh wait, no, it's a Nonny who doesn't have her hair done.
No, I have a similar reaction whenever I look in the mirror, but then it's like, oh wait, no, I know you, Christopher. It's always there and always watching. What about you, Pat? Have you ever look in the mirror and just wonder who that stranger is looking back at you?
Not always, because my kind of facial makeup is more or less similar. The hair is always like cut short. The face is always more or less shaven. So it's only like after waking up and not seeing a mirror for like a week when you see like patches of this weird thing on my face that it's kind of like the
Well, that's good.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, that looks gross.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no.
I'd say probably isn't facial blind.
Yeah, I need to do something similar to that today after we're done recording. But I'll tell you who does not have this problem, who has never had this problem because he has never seen himself in a mirror, is our old boss and colleague, DJ Applejack, DJ AJ.
What?
He has never seen himself in a mirror. In fact, it's weird. I met him once in person, and as we were walking by a mirror, I didn't see him either. You know, I don't know how that happened, but it was like crazy.
A fellow vampire.
I guess so. I mean, like,
Well, see, for a while, he also had the staff that he could have like other people kind of, take care of the facial grooming for him. He just kind of stand there in a hero pose, and people just be like go around and just kind of clean up his face for him.
I did think it was weird when I was visiting him in whatever state he lives in, because I totally know that and have actually visited him in person, and this is all a true story. When I was there, it was weird because I mean, like he didn't really have a lot of mirrors. I actually had to see him. I didn't see him in the mirror until I was shaving. And then I nicked myself and realized that he was standing right behind me, and I couldn't see him in the mirror. And it was kind of an awkward thing because I mean, you'd think, why would he have to like use my mirror to get a good look at himself? Like, why was he over my shoulder just when I cut my neck? I mean, it was a big castle. It was a really big castle. You'd think that he'd have lots of room to put other things, and I guess maybe it's just because he filled his entire basement with coffins and didn't really leave a lot of room for other storage. Honestly, I just think that's poor planning.
Well, see, it's not so much that the mirrors aren't. It's just the mirror knows. The mirror knows that if you need to like look at yourself, because there are things that you have to like fix, correct, or kind of adjust. It'll show you what you need to see. But if you don't, like if there's no reason for you to kind of readjust anything, kind of take a look, get a closer.
So what we're saying is perfect humans never get to see their perfection.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
At least through a mirror, there's photos.
To be fair, DJJ basically a perfect human being. Basically. No one's perfect, but essentially all things being equal, pretty much perfect. Which is a shame, because I have always found that mirrors are the worst kinds of adversary to make, because I go and look at them, and people are always like, oh, you look in a mirror, you see a reflection of yourself. They are liars. They are cheats. Because I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, oh dear, I have, I gotta shave a little bit off the side there. So I'll take a razor, and I'll try and use the mirror to figure out where my hand goes, and it just flies off into the different directions, like inverted controls. It's ridiculous. I hate it. Mirrors make no sense.
Well, at least you only have the inverted controls. Mine, I have to trick my mirror into letting me do what I want, because I go to look at the mirror to start getting ready for shaving or whatever, and the reflection's just there sticking the middle finger at me. It's like,
oh man, that's just rude.
Yeah, like what did I do? I know it's early. I don't like being up this early either, but I need to shave. The least you can do is just kind of to let me shave instead of standing there scowling at me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Actually, I'll tell you something. That the worst thing about mirrors is when you go in there at the exact moment of midnight on the 13th of Friday, and you're trying to shave, and there's some girl behind you with like a pure white face and coal black eyes pointing at you in a silent accusatory scream, and it's like, excuse me, do I do that to you when you're trying to comb your hair? No. Okay? Rude.
I just
Oh,
asked her
I'm
to pass me
so
the shaving
jealous.
cream.
I want your demons. Please send them to me.
I will. They're annoying. I want to shave, and
I
they're
need
just
a
like.
demon girlfriend. I'd be into that.
I think I don't know. She's kind of on the weird side. You know, she's constantly just like silently screaming and like pointing at me, and like, you know, blackness is like rolling down her cheeks. It's distracting. I've cut myself shaving because of her. So I don't know. If you want her, you can have her.
Do the goat skulls get in your way too?
She's not big on the goat skulls, okay? She's actually she's more about cracking the walls in the mirror, which lead to simultaneous cracks in reality. And inside of those cracks swarm unspeakable, numbers of tiny black insects never seen by any mortal eyes.
Oh God, I can't do bugs. Take her back.
Exactly. No, it's just, ew, it's gross. It's super gross. And again, the worst part is, like, you know, it's like, oh, well, if she just did that the one time, it would be fine. I'd just, like, pay for a repair person, come in, fix it all up. No. Next day, stroke of midnight, everything closes, everything's fine. I've already
I thought
crawled.
this only happened on the 13th of Friday.
Exactly. It only happens then. So I call in someone to come in and, like, patch up the thing. Guess what? They're going to wait 24 hours. They come in, everything's fixed because it only happens on that one day.
Well, then why do you need to get a repair person?
Because it looks bad. It looks really ugly. It lowers the property value. Plus, you just know. You know that is going to happen on a day that I need to show off the apartment in order to, you know, sell it. And it's going to happen on that day. And they're going to be like, you know, I'm not really sold on the infinite swarm of horrifying beetles from another dimension. Gonna have to pass. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? It's Demon Girl's. Demon Girl, you done goofed.
Very
Call
nice.
it post for demon girl. Stop putting bugs in the walls.
I put a sticky note on the mirror. I know she looks in it. She's looking at it all the time. Never listens. But Paz, did you say you have goat skulls?
No, well, it was the issue for a little bit. You know, it wasn't so much on like the 13th, but it, you know, it more came up around Halloween. But you know, it's the first year or two, you'd see they'd pop up, and you know, you just, you know, you have the talking to, you tell them that, you know, it's not really appropriate. They're not really functional. The bathroom is not big enough to begin with, so they're just getting in everybody's way.
Yeah.
So then there's the mutual understanding that, you know, and they go away.
Yeah, that's great.
So I didn't have the big of an issue as like holes in the wall that, you know, reoccur. It was, you know, just a very stern and talking. We both came to a mutual understanding, and away we go.
See, that's great. See, and admittedly, Demon Girl, she only opens up cracks in the walls for the one day. I'll tell you what's worse than that. Former roommate, she'd like put up candles and stuff. Just annoying. She wouldn't take them down; they'd just be there. Like, you know, I don't want to move them because I feel rude, and you know, then they're just sort of like candles all over the place, and it's annoying.
I have
It's
to
even worse.
admit, I do find it bothersome when people just put candles all over the place. It's like you're not even using these. Why are you putting them up?
It's a fire hazard, okay? It's you know, like, and they're expensive. They cost money. They're gonna, you know, the person's gonna complain later on.
They
about how
cost
they don't have money.
exorbitant amounts of money for what they are. It's so silly.
I mean, like the thing is, like, you don't even use them, and like half the time. Has this ever happened to you? Has it ever happened to you? They put the candle up, and you're like, okay, are you going to like burn there? And like, no, like the smell from the candle wax as is fine. I just kind of want to have that little bit of thing. I don't want to overwhelm the apartment. I just want to kind of have that little thing there. So I bought like 50 of them to put all over the place. That way, you know, it's a little
People
subtle
who buy
smell.
the fancy candles, but it's like, oh no, we can't burn this. It's too pretty.
But it's a candle. It's the purpose of the candle
It's
is
like
to be.
you have fancy hand towels for your bathroom that you don't use. They're just there to look good.
I never understood that.
Yeah, which is like, and why? Why do you have this in the first place? 99% of the time, no one uses the little hand towels. Like, people buy these like fancy hand towels, and you know, like one person actually dries their hands with the hand towels. Everyone else just uses the towel, and even that person doesn't use the fancy ones.
It was always, you know, the towel rack right next to the tub, and it had like these fancy towels with like the thing, you know, the pattern like sewn in at the bottom, and it was never, don't use those. But why? They're towels. They're there.
It's-
Right? And if you think they're cute and you want to have them out, then use them.
Just
It's like people who buy all the fancy china and then just let it sit.
oh my, like that is so frustrating. That's so frustrating when it's like, hey, we're out of plates. You know, the dishwasher's going. You know, like the only thing we have in here are like the china plates. Can we use those for dinner? And like, no, it's like it's good china. You can't use that. You can't use the plates that are in the cupboard. No, like
You have to find a reason to justify using it, and the kind of people who have to find a reason to justify using it are never going to find a reason that is big enough to justify using them, and it's so silly.
I have had people go out and buy paper plates for dinner, for like normal dinners, because like they didn't have any normal plates and the china plates were too good to be used. So they were just like, no, we'll just go and get some paper plates then, like set those out instead. That'll work. That'll be fine.
Oh dear.
That's a sane reaction.
Silly, sentimental humans.
I don't even get it. At least Damon Girl makes sense, you know? She does her thing, she does it, it's annoying, she gets out. It's done. Perfect. Perfect roommate. Doesn't pay any rent, of course, but, you know, aside from that, perfect roommate.
Well, you know, I guess, you know, but is, by not paying, is it like deterring anything? Is extra power being used or extra utilities being spent?
See, that's the thing I don't know. Like, the lights flicker, and, you know, like, throughout the entire house, everything becomes cold as death, and every window frosts over. But the thing is, the AC isn't running, so I'm pretty sure that's not actually running up our electric bill, so probably okay?
Okay. See, if it was, you know, adding extra strain onto the utilities.
Okay, now admittedly, if we don't remember to, you know, turn down the thermostat, you know, when she's doing this, and it tries to compensate for, you know, the unearthly chill, that gets a little expensive. That's a bit annoying, but it's, you know, more often than not, it's on us for forgetting to do that, because, I mean, it doesn't happen that often. Friday the 13th, it comes around, what, like once a year? Less? More? I don't know.
Two or three, I think, on a busy year.
On a busy year? Yeah. See, not that bad. Not that bad. Number of times it's going to happen during a cold month when we need to have the thermostat up? Very unlikely. Very rare. It's fine. It's fine. It's better than the candles. Better than paper plates. Okay, dead.
Oh, the fancy soaps, the shaped soaps.
Oh.
That you don't use.
Oh my god. Okay. I don't know if you've ever had to experience this. Have you ever, like, known someone who went to Disney World, got, like, the Mickey Mouse, like, hotel soaps that have, like, the little, like, Mickey head printed on them, bring them back, and then treat them like the fancy soaps, like they're hotel bar soaps, like little mini complimentary soaps.
Admittedly, as a collector, I would do that, but I would not put them in the bathroom where people would want to use them as soap.
Right,
I
see?
would put them on a collection shelf.
Yeah, they're like, but I want to make it feel like we're still at Disney, so the soap is on the soap thing like it would be in the Disney park, but you can't use it because I don't want it to be there forever. It's like...
Silly humans are so silly.
Dad, do you ever deal with this? Have you ever dealt with this?
No, I can't say I have, because we don't deal a whole lot in the fancy soaps or
Dad, you have to have that weird grandmother or that weird aunt who puts out all the decorative shit and all the decorative things and never uses them.
Well, the only thing we had growing up was the fancy towels, but we never had like the fancy soap or the candles that you couldn't use.
Oh. Then you lucked out.
Actually, you ever have the fancy silverware? Like the fancy silverware that goes with the fancy plates? It's like
I'm so glad we do not have fancy silverware.
Okay.
No, we've just got the ones that silverware for the fancy stuff, but we'll just kind of use the fancy stuff for whatever. Because it's there, it should be used. Okay,
well, you are a smart and clever individual, and your family is going to be stronger for it come the end times. But I have dealt with family get-togethers where there is the proper silverware, like the silverware that is half the size, very delicate, has intricate metal work on like the handles and stuff, and you cannot use it. Like you have to like.
I want this special tiny silverware.
It's pretty. It is pretty. I will give it that, and I think you would probably enjoy having a set for use in various fanciful occasions. But like this is a set that, like, it's used once a year for like, or like twice a year for like,
No, that's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Thanksgiving and Christmas or something. It's
Honestly, though, I
Speaking-
think most silverware is ridiculous. It's humans have hands. You were meant to eat with them. Stop having 3 different forks.
I'm in favor of that. I mean, it sometimes gets a little ridiculous with soup, but you know,
What you don't
that's a
You
that's
can
what
pick
bowl's
up
for.
the bowl and
Exactly.
drink.
you don't eat your soup with the traditional soup fork?
Oh, I forgot about the soup fork. I have seen people use the soup fork before, and honestly, no.
Wait, is there actually a soup fork, or is this a bit?
This is a thing. This is a real thing. This is not a bit. The soup fork is a fork that is designed to be used as like a more fanciful way of drinking soup by literally taking the bowl, tilting it, but you don't slurp out of it because that would be uncivilized. No, you just splash it into your mouth with a fork.
Oh, see, I was raised thinking something else. The soup fork was made, when the Campbell's Chunky Soups came out, and their big thing were like the soup that you eat like a meal.
Oh.
Well, when those
I
came out,
remember, yeah.
people now started doing that at home. So you had the thicker soup, and you couldn't just eat that with a spoon. So you had the soup fork for it. But because not everybody knew about you needed the thicker soup for it, people just made regular soup with the soup fork.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems foolish.
It is.
Yes, but it's the very high class thing to do now, and it's not just like a regular like 3 or 4 pronged fork. It's like I want to think it's like about maybe half as long as a regular fork, and it's got 6 prongs.
Well, actually, this is the thing. I'm curious, genuinely curious, both to you two and to the people watching at home. How many people have actually eaten an entire bowl of like non-chunky soup, like normal, like just soupy, brothy soup, entirely using a spoon? Like, at no point just giving up and using the bowl like any sane human being, but actually went all the way and just, like, take a thing, just over and over and over again for hundreds of little, like, dip-in slurps until you've eventually cleared out an entire bowl of soup.
Those
I
are the
have
people.
done that multiple times because that's how I was taught to do it, and this is why I hate soup and I do not eat soup because it is too time consuming.
Fair enough.
But see, that's why you have all your proper soup spoons, because by the end of it, like the fancy
Well,
like
see,
kind of
I have
half.
a problem too. My jaw didn't get big like an adult's is supposed to be, so I can't fit a soup spoon in my mouth. I can only fit a teaspoon in my mouth. So imagine eating an entire bowl of soup with a teaspoon.
That
It's
would-
very time consuming.
Yes, and then when you get down and you have like just kind of a little bit left that you can't really get your spoon down there. This is when you're supposed to switch over to like the fancy spoons, like the kind of like the half spoon that Duhad was saying earlier. But there's even one step up for refinement, at least that I know of, and that's like half of that, so like a quarter spoon.
Yeah, you get like the little
Yeah.
teeny spoon, and
Now, I'm pretty sure that for like the super high class, that there's even like an 1/8 and 16th size spoons for this to like make sure that you get everything, so you don't even have to so you
dear.
don't even have to pitch your bowl to make sure you get it all. So you can
Yeah.
just have it with the bowl completely flat.
yeah, you get like down to like the little soup spoons that look
Well,
like
isn't
they
that the
should be
point
for-
of also they make special soup bowls that have a side that's easier to scoop the last bits?
Yep, yeah, they do as well. But like, like if you look at like reenactments, like full set reenactments of like Victorian times and stuff, like you'll see like the place settings, and there'll be like 12 different spoons. Like the reason for that is so you can just slowly work your way down. From
And this is why I have my own cutlery, and I have tiny little forks and tiny little spoons, and that's it.
that works.
Now, the thing you have to remember with all that big fancy thing is like even though they've got the train of spoons, that like last there's one, I can't remember if it's like right almost hiding right underneath the bowl, or if it's like way off to the side, but it's a really tiny one, and that is actually your wine spoon.
Oh my god.
A wine spoon?
Yes,
Oh,
you know how
no.
there's
I
wine.
suppose people do want to aerate the wine when they drink it, so maybe that makes sense.
But you know how like there's the wine tasters where they have like their little sip glass, and then that this is for doing it not on the same scale. So you get like your little spoon, because it almost looks like a tiny ladle. So it would you let your wine aerate or air or whatever they call it, and you dip it in, and then you take your little kind of sip from there to get the flavor, to make sure that it's going to be paired right.
Humans are so silly. This is what I am learning.
The human race is slowly driving itself to a point in which we will go extinct, not from global environmental damage or war or famine or an oncoming meteorite, but because we will literally bury ourselves to a man, woman, and child and other under an avalanche of differently sized silverware crashing
To be fair,
down.
I think we've trucked with that a lot less since like Victorian times or something. Like people
True.
don't generally own a full set of all the variations of silverware, but
Well, there's the people that try to live fancy, dude. The people that are going practical have learned to not only just kind of cut down to the 2 spoons, the 2 forks, and a few types of knives. There are some that have been able to squeeze everything down to a single utensil.
Really?
the spork with the little knife on the end.
Yes.
I'm just looking
I've
forward.
always wanted to try one of those, but they look somewhat pointy.
They probably could give you a little jab, but I predict that if we could send the people from that old show Hoarders, the show about people who hoard stuff, if we could get them into like an old blue blood Victorian manor type place, they'd just be like, look at all this stuff. We got a real hoarder here. Look at all these silverwares. They're been collecting silverware. They've been collecting plates. What do they need all these plates for? It's like, sir, you have a problem. You have a problem with all the silverware. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it all out of your house because you need to get your life back on track.
And then it'd be like, questioning what they're on about, and then to the stockades with them.
Yeah, I do declare that is preposterous. This notion of too many silverwares.
We need more.
By George, I've only just sent off to London, to ye old London town, to have a new shipment sent in. I hear they've invented a spoon that is so small that you pick it up with a pair of tweezers and you use it to get those little goblets of soup at the bottom of your bowl after everything else has been scooped up. Waste not, want not, is what I always say.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Actually, you know what is genuinely really fun to do, though? Get like a big bowl of ice cream and then take the smallest, dumbest, stupid little spoon and you eat it. And it's like, oh man, I have so much ice cream. I have
That's
so
what
much
my
ice cream.
sister does.
Exactly. It's like you have so much ice cream.
She
That's
likes
this
to
little
use,
spoon.
Little teeny tiny tasting spoons and forks that you just have it you buy them plastic to throw away and you use them at parties.
Yeah. Oh my! Because it's like, man, I have so much ice cream that this spoon, this regular size spoon, is no match for it. Oh, it's gonna take a while to eat all this ice cream. It's a great feeling.
See, I can't eat ice cream, but I'll enjoy it in thought.
Lactose or just sugar or...
I have developed a dairy allergy since our last hanging out, I suppose.
Oh,
or
dear.
maybe I had it a little then, I don't remember.
Mine-
So any kind of dairy at all will make my throat puff up. So
Ooh.
I avoid it now.
That is not good, because cheese.
Yeah, no cheese,
No.
not even butter.
Oh God, no!
I sure hate butter though, so I don't mind.
Okay, well that's okay then. But no! By all that is good and holy in this world, why? Why?
No dairy and no gluten, so no food.
Jeez Louise, yeah, that's a pretty strict diet. As long as you're not actually throw on a strict vegan diet on top of all of that, and I think you.
Oh God, I would die.
Yeah.
Raw things make me so sick.
I do know people who are strict vegans and gluten-free. I don't know if I know too many who are also... Well, actually, if you're...
My dad was pure raw for a while.
Oh, dear. Oh,
That means you
my.
only eat raw vegetables and fruits. That's like the strictest you can get.
Yeah. No, I think... I was also not including raw meats, but... I actually...
No,
I'd like...
that's called paleo or something.
Oh, yeah, it's the paleo diet thing, yeah. No, but actually I just remembered, and I feel somewhat foolish now, it would be incredibly redundant to say that you are, like, non-dairy and a strict vegan, because strict vegans don't eat dairy in the first place.
Yes.
So, yeah, gluten-free and strict vegan, that is the pinnacle of no
I
lie.
still eat meat. That's about all I can eat.
Well, at least you can still enjoy bacon.
Yes.
I'm actually just
Well,
enjoying...
turkey bacon. Real bacon has a lot of oil and makes me upset.
Fair enough. Though I'm loving the idea of like little Nonny here. The reason you have you have that little sharp tooth, it's because you have actually just become a pure carnivore. Like you go out and hunt deers in the woods.
I actually do eat a lot of protein, but mostly it's still carbs. It's carbs from potato or something instead.
And probably relatively healthier than most people, honestly, with the way most people eat. I mean, the way I eat, definitely.
It's okay. The potato
Well, I
is
gave
a
myself
very...
malnutrition one time, so probably not. But
Okay, maybe not as much. But you were saying, Pad?
Oh, the potato is a very hearty piece of food. It can do just about everything.
That is true.
potatoes are so good.
Potatoes are great and great for you. You can
Like,
also build a house
I live
of
for
them.
potatoes.
Like, you can bake them, boil them, mash them, make a salad out of them.
Yeah.
Oh, gross! No.
No?
You can take a fish and you can shove it full of potatoes, and then you can take that do that to like multiple fish and take all those fish and shove them into a bear, and then take those bears and shove them into a whale, and eventually you get a fish
Is this
beard
parody of
Willem.
turducken?
Yes.
Oh,
It
no,
turned
no,
to-
it's not a parody. It's
the new.
it's a culinary
Next
masterpiece.
step of the turducken.
It is the evolution of the turducken. It is turducken squared.
Well,
Oh, that's one of
see,
the things about Canadian food I'm ashamed of. Like, why did we have to come up with the turducken?
well, because it needed to be a thing.
No.
The greatest engineers in Canada looked at the world and said, "There is not a turducken."
Well, it was kind of like, okay, well, we've already given the world poutine. What can we do next?
Do you know I have never eaten poutine?
Oh dear. I guess actually I think there's like cheese on it, so like
Yeah.
There
that'd be-
is.
yeah.
And I never got the chance to try it before
Oh.
being now allergic to dairy, so I've never tried poutine.
It's I mean, admittedly, like as much as it is tasty, it is basically just like incredibly hot cheese on top of incredibly hot oily fries. So
You forgot the gravy.
Yeah,
the gravy
covered
that's
in
the
gravy.
best part.
curd and gravy, true. So you're missing a tasty treat, but your heart is just like yes, thank you. Thank you, throat. You have
Oh.
my back.
Yes, because the double down was so much better.
Oh,
I forget what that was.
That was a
no.
sandwich from KFC that it was like
Ah, right. It was
the
the
deep
bun
fried
was
chick-
the chicken.
yeah, the
Yeah.
chicken. Yeah.
Oh god, just the thought of KFC makes me sick.
Yeah, no, KFC is actually somewhat horrifying. It is like there are many fast food chains that are out to kill you. KFC just doesn't hide it. KFC doesn't care if you know.
I wouldn't even eat it as a kid. Like, it's just too icky.
Well, you don't want a paper bucket full of chicken? Hey,
It's not really chicken. It's too oily and
it's bread.
disgusting.
It is bread with a bit of chicken flavoring. Hey kids, check out what Mom bought. It's a massive bucket full of chicken that is so greasy it's actually fused together into like a pulsating block of gristle and bone and meat.
Here's
like-
a KFC fun fact for you, though. KFC chicken is like the traditional Japanese Christmas food now.
Well done, Japan. Of all the things that help to make up your beautiful and rich culture, I think that is the one that confuses me the most.
It was all because KFC did a really big advertising campaign, and Japanese people got confused and thought that that was what American Christmas dinner was, and started emulating it. And now they eat KFC, and we have actual Christmas dinner.
Amazing. I'm just imagining like the reason for that was like half a massive marketing push and half Japanese translations of A Christmas Story becoming really popular but not quite getting the message across right.
It's like, well, Americans eat chicken for Christmas, right? So here, look, chicken. Yeah, no.
yeah, fowl. Yes, that's it. It's like the Christmas goose. Yeah, go get a Christmas goose for everyone. And then they get the duck at in A Christmas Story, and KFC is telling us about this Christmas chicken. Yeah, that makes sense. It all ties together. It makes perfect sense. In fact, if I was an alien coming in from like another planet, and we were like, we have come across the galaxy to learn about this thing you call Christmas, and I watched I looked at like all the popular culture, I'd probably be like, yes, the consuming of fowl. That is the true meaning of Christmas.
And see, that is why the turducken is a thing, because you have, the turkey for the big kind of traditional one. You have the duck for kind of the smaller, but it's still it's more of a treat thing. And then you have the chicken, because it's now kind of like widespread. It's so easy to get. You have it all together. That way, all the main fowl are included for this Christmas feast. So if it were to ever come and be like, we need to understand this Christmas thing, it's like, here is the turducken. And like, it makes so much sense with all the consumption of fowl.
Christmas has just become a holiday about eating birds.
well, I mean, how do you think Santa got so fast?
Thanksgiving.
You'd assume, but I mean,
Thanksgiving should be the true holiday just for eating birds.
You'd think, but because it's, really, when is Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's
like right here in this conversation, we have two different answers. We have, we have the proper one if it's in October, and the other one where it's
the other one where it's the other proper one is in November.
It doesn't make sense. It's too close to Christmas. You have two chicken dinners too close together. Nobody wants to cook that.
That's the point. The point is you have to be grateful because it's a terrible holiday, and you have to spend time with all your terrible family. And
doesn't it? And isn't it even supposed to be celebrating like pilgrims taking land from the Native Americans?
Well, okay, like little bit of genuine history here. Like as much as it is kind of like in popular culture, it kind of like been demonized as being a celebration of colonialism, and there are definitely elements of that. The first Thanksgiving, like the day that is celebrated in the U.S., occurred basically because a trade negotiation between I can't remember the tribe. It's like I think it's the Wampanoags. I think it's been a little while.
Wamapoke?
It might be the Wamapoke. I think it was like a different tribe though. Point is. The Penobscot, a sizable Penobscot area tribe, which was like the actual word they used for like the tribes in that area. A chief, Mana Fudge. It's Mana something. Anyway, he was actually rather fond of the English because an English doctor from the Pilgrims colony had cured him of like a strep throat disease that everyone thought was going to kill him, but with the English medicine and English cured foods, he actually got better. And so when the English were starving, he came over with like a bunch of food as essentially a way of going like, hey, thank you for saving my life, and thank you for using your superior technology to help me push my political agenda here in this in this area, and helping me to become like the most powerful leader in the area. So, since you're starving, let's have a huge feast. Let's like bring all this food and stuff. But instead of being this thing where it was like everyone sitting around at a table, from all reports, the first Thanksgiving was basically just like
a picnic.
100, like 50 Englishmen sitting around at a table with like 200 native people like gathered around having a great picnic and like cooking food and showing off like all the different things that like they had and could eat here in the region.
I have
going,
to admit, I just thought that Thanksgiving, its intentions was sort of made up by the American school system to cover up colonialism.
No, the way that we now view it totally is, but the original event was basically like an actual like goodwill celebration between, you know, two
That's good to
cultures.
know.
Actually, this is a weird thing about the whole colonial thing is that like both people who look at it are kind of wrong in like the way they view the history of it, because like the people who are like, oh, it was the, you know, belt buckle on the hat pilgrims came over and they were friends with the natives and everything was great forever, obviously, you know, super like romanticized vision of the past. But it also wasn't like the first pilgrims came over and immediately started stealing land. Like the entire first generation of like the Plymouth colony was really closely aligned with the natives, and you know the natives were actually the more dominant partner in the relationship. It was just that basically the second generation, the son of the aforementioned chief who was there for the first Thanksgiving, and like the follow-up leaders of the Plymouth colony, who kind of like soured the whole thing by like the native chief was the son of the native chief started selling huge swaths of land to the Europeans to buy European goods to show off like, you know, what a rich and powerful person he was, until he started running out of land. Then he started buying guns, and the English were really dumb, like really dumb, because basically like the native chief was like, hey, so you took all, like, we've sold you all of our land, and also we're running out of places that we can hunt on, so we'll send you the rest of the territory we can hunt on in exchange for a lot of guns. And the Plymouth leaders were like, great, we want that land. Like, are you going to be living on a tiny rock out in the middle of like in like this middle of this territory that cannot be farmed and has like no hunting area on it, and there's no way you could use these guns for hunting at that point? Yeah, man, whatever. You must be dumb or something. Give us that land. And then, in a shocking turn of events, the natives declared war and almost took back like all the territory, if not for like a bunch of other tribes joining with the English and going like, no. You've been lording it over us for way too long. You lose this time. History of the early American colonies is actually really interesting. It's just that like late into the second generation, like after some of the kind of amusing wheelings and dealings and, you know, less lopsided wars than you'd imagine, things took a seriously dark turn, and then everything was sad forever.
Here we're having such a good
The
time.
history of America, it was cute for a couple years, and then everything was sad forever.
Yeah.
Here we were having a good time, then we actually had to go and learn something.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about history, is it's full of amazing and hilarious stories that then all kind of lead into, and then things got dark. Things got dark really fast.
History is beautiful.
It is. Who doesn't love it? Who doesn't? Tell you who. The Blue Meanies. Never been
What?
fans. The Blue Meanies. Have you never seen Yellow Submarine?
Say that again?
Have you never seen Yellow Submarine?
No.
Okay, so
I
just
can't even tell you what a Beatles song is. I'm just not into that kind of music.
Fair enough. You might not enjoy Yellow Submarine then. Pat, have you ever seen Yellow Submarine?
I have not seen the movie. I have heard the song.
Okay, so the Yellow Submarine is an animated film based on Beatles songs that is possibly one of the weirdest musicals ever made, because it's like an animated odyssey through weird psychedelic album cover art of like the Beatles in their Yellow Submarine trying to get to I forget the name of the place, but like like a place named after one of the songs. In order to free Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from the Blue Meanies, who are a collection of blue fuzzballs with Mickey Mouse ears and giant blue noses, who fly around dropping apples on people's heads, and they have a glove.
This sounds very...
It's weird.
Curious.
It is a very curious film. But yeah, no, like the main villains are the Blue Meanies, and at the very end of the film, they end the Blue Meanies' meanness with the power of music, and the leader of the Blue Meanies, his big blue fuzzball body starts growing flowers, and he's like, "Did I ever tell you that my cousin is actually the blue bird of happiness?" And it's like, there you go, happy ending.
What
Yeah.
Very
no.
70s, very psychedelic and trippy, it seems.
Yeah, no. At some point, I'll do a little recording with it or something. I'll show you some of this film. It's weird.
I'll take it with you if you want.
Sweetness. But anyway, that's I think that's
you watch something that I like.
I'm down anytime.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm actually thinking about going back and trying to watch some of the old pony specials, the previous gen pony specials.
Like the ones that are in multiple parts that they form up a movie, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have access to clear copies? Because I have them all on disc, and I'll rip them for you.
I don't, and would therefore deeply appreciate that. That would actually be incredibly helpful.
It. That being said, I don't know which version I have of Escape from Trina.
It's fine.
It's in Midnight Castle. There's multiple versions of each of them.
That's fine. I'm actually... Here's the thing. Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking I want to introduce you two to the beauties of role-playing at some point. And what better way to do that?
Yes, teach me.
Yes, and I was thinking what better way to do that than to use the mod rules I've already created to run Gen 4 ponies in a role-playing game and absorb hours upon hours of previous generations of My Little Pony
in order
to make
I can
a
help
role-playing
you do
game.
so much previous gen world building.
I'm going to need that help because I intend to make a...
If you want to make a world, though, focusing on the previous gen, can I just suggest scrapping the videos altogether and going to the UK comics?
Okay, sure. I won't watch the videos anyway.
Way more fever dream nonsense than the show is, and it's beautiful, and they're so dark.
Yeah.
I want this. I
forget,
need this in my life.
was it you or AR I was telling about the origin of Twinkle-Eyed Ponies?
You told me.
That's from the UK comic books, and that's amazing.
Because that was one of the things I was like, could I make a really interesting like role-playing game story out of previous generations? Oh right, Twinkle Eyes. Yes. Yeah, no, this will be fine.
And there's more where that came from. Talk to me after this call, and I will tell you all about ponies.
Okay, I have to take care of some things after this call, but I'll tell you what. We should have another call like this at some point in the not-too-distant future, like in a week or two, whenever PadSave is next available, and talk about ponies a lot.
Okay.
Unless PadSave is like super against that, in which case me and you should get together and talk about ponies a lot in a call.
I
will tell you about ponies.
I have kind of fallen away from the ponies. I haven't watched any of the...
Oh, I'm completely over G4, but I still like the one.
I haven't actually watched it in a while, but I'm still super curious about previous generations, largely because of how unbelievably weird and 80s they are.
I know.
So good.
When we were still doing rhyme things on one of the shows, we ended up watching like the original movies. We ended up just kind of doing like a couple snippets from every generation. Yeah, some of it was pretty weird.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm going through my discs later, and I'm picking out every good episode of the Pony Show that has good background for doing role plays, and I'm going through the comic books. We are doing this.
I'm sold. I'm sold and down.
I didn't want to roleplay ponies, but if you can do it G1, then I'm in.
Oh, no, you better believe it. G1. That's like, we're not talking G4, we're talking G1.
The good stuff.
OG, as one might say.
Dibs on chaotic neutral.
You got it. You're gonna be the chaotic neutral.
I know nothing about types. so, but I'm probably gonna be.
Okay, just super briefly, we'll go over this next time. But like for now, like just briefly, lawful good. Like it's basically the two
Lawful
axes.
good, neutral good, chaotic good,
Good,
lawful neutral,
neutral,
something. I don't know.
True
I know
neutral,
the
chaotic
things,
neutral. Yeah,
but
it's the basically like lawful is how much you believe in like order and civilization, etc. Like as a good in and of itself, versus like chaotic, which is how much you believe that like anarchy and freedom are like the important thing. So like lawful good is like yay, like we are law-abiding citizens who do good things by other people and believe that the rule of law helps everyone. Like
I'll figure it out
evil
once
is,
we
like,
have a setting put together.
yeah, we'll work it out. Work it out. But Pat said he's gonna be crazy. He's gonna be super crazy.
I just get to do what I want because it's fun.
Perfect. No, I'm looking forward to this. This will be so much fun. As will more from To the End in future. Probably, maybe, possibly, maybe, hopefully. Well, till then, though, I gotta go. So we'll see you guys next time for, hopefully, again, more To the End as a reunion show continuation series.
Would it really be a reunion show at that point? Wouldn't it just be the show?
It would just be the show! We need to do it until at least December so we can, like, mirror the old show. But with less creepy girls, like, staring at us from the mirror. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.